On hell, when Manuel Soto, the director of Blue Beetle, cannot get off the identity politics bandwagon, he is at it again, and he's providing absolutely zero evidence. This time, he's saying that the SAG-AFTRA and the WGA strikes affect disproportionately to minorities. What are you even talking about? He was speaking to The Wrap about promoting the film by himself without the actors because of the SAG-AFTRA strike. He says, it's unfortunate that the strike happened right before we started promoting the movie. Of course, everybody would love for it to happen after the movie premieres so that at least our actors have the time to shine and to be celebrated and see how most people are connecting with their stories. Nothing wrong with that. Sounds great, right? We all can get behind that. Why wouldn't you want to have your actors promoting the films? It gives them more of the limelight, gives them a chance to talk to the press, gives them, they get some of the perks of being in the film. They get a wine and dine and all that stuff, as well as becoming the next level of superheroes, supposedly trying to elevate them into blockbuster stars. Like, why wouldn't you want to have that? I think that's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's what you expect, right? Then you added a lot of these young kids that are watching the movie, see themselves represented in them, the characters, because it's a beautiful experience I've been able to witness. So he's already here going on with this representation narrative. He's pushing that. He's been pushing that since day one. But this is where it totally turned the corner here. We expect him to push that representation narrative. We've heard that from him again from day one. That's not really a surprise. But this is just so far out of left field. It is a little bit of a surprise. He says, we all can agree that the strikes affect disproportionately to minorities. I don't know where this is even coming from. I think this is just a mind virus. This is why they call it a mind virus, a poison of the mind. He's so afflicted by this victimhood ideology that he's embraced, that's how he sees the world all the time, that somehow he's always a victim, even though there's plenty of people that are suffering from the strike that aren't even actors or writers, namely the production crew. They don't even have union funds to bail them out like the SAG-AFTRA and the WGA does, that are supposedly help people when they have strikes, right? These people they're not there. Their unions aren't striking. They're not getting money set aside for them because these other unions are striking. Those people are suffering, but somehow minorities are being disproportionately affected somehow, some way, when it's probably people across all kinds of demographics are suffering from this. It's just absolutely bizarre. Doesn't make any sense. He doesn't provide any evidence for it. Shame on Humberto Gonzalez at The Wrap for not pressing him on this. Just trying to and Humberto Gonzalez is just as guilty as Angel Manuel Soto is in pushing this identity politics stuff. He obviously, they both are doing it from this kind of like Latino representation, which is funny when you actually talk to a lot of Latino people. They don't view themselves as some kind of giant monolith, right? It's usually based on your country of origin: Guatemalan, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Colombian. If you want to go, you get Spanish. They view themselves very differently from the Portuguese, from the Brazilians, the Argentinians. They're all very different. Obviously, we refer to them all as Latinos, but they are all very different. They see themselves as very different, and I don't think their identity is based on skin color or race, as I think Angel Manuel Soto and Humberto Gonzalez are trying to do with these propaganda pieces, these ridiculous identity politics statements and comments. But let's continue here. He says, at the same time, I have nothing but... So he's lampoons the guilds for striking, saying that they're basically being racist and are disproportionately affecting minorities. And then he's like, oh, wait, I have to remember I need to be part of the union. I'm pro-union, right? So he says, at the same time, I have nothing but respect and support for my actors who are fighting the good fight, and our writers too. They're fighting the good fight for better pay, for better treatment, so that the money is better distributed between the people who are creating the content. So I'm going to say all this so you forget that I just accused the two big guilds that are striking of racism. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous what this guy has gotten away with. And I think he's just the latest example that these films are made to humiliate people. They are made by people who hate you, and they actively tell you that they hate you with these comments like this, where where they're literally accusing these writers and actors who are striking, the guilds that are striking, of racism, and that somehow the strikes are disproportionately affecting minorities. I mean, it's just absurd, but it is to be what is expected from Hollywood. This is their MO.
Subscribe for more.